Today, Chav Dalet Teves, the 24th day of the month of Teves, is the Yohrtzeit of the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe, the Baal HaTanya, Baal HaShulchan Aruch, passed away on Mitzvah Shabbos Kodesh Parshas Shmois in the village of Piena, and this happened in the year 1812, 5573, when he was fleeing from Napoleon's army. And during this flight, he became ill and passed away, as I just said, in the village of Piena, and he's buried in the cemetery, the Jewish cemetery of Hadich. The Alter Rebbe was born the 18th day of the month of Elul, the year 1745, to his parents Reb Baruch and Rivka. He was named Shneur. Tradition tells us the meaning of Shneur is Shnei Oyer, two lights. And in fact, as the Baal Shem Tov related, that he had a heavenly vision, and it was revealed to him that the world would be illuminated by Rabbi Shneur Zalman, those two lights, the light of Shulchan Aruch and the light of Tanya, the light of the revealed part of Torah and the light of the hidden part of Torah, Chassidus. Talking about the Shulchan Aruch, his Shulchan Aruch is known simply as Shulchan Aruch Harav, meaning the Shulchan Aruch, the code of law of the rabbi. And this is because of the widespread recognition of its authority, so it became Shulchan Aruch Harav, of the rabbi, but Harav also means from many, from everyone. Interesting, I want to share with you just quoting a few paragraphs of the introduction to the Shulchan Aruch, which was signed by the three sons of the Alter Rebbe. And there they write the following. Since the needs of the Jewish people are many, especially in these difficult times, with rising expenses and the encumbrance of earning a livelihood burdening each individual, and then they quote, Benafsha Yovi Lachmai, with his soul he acquires bread, and they have little mind to engage in lengthy study of the sea of Talmudic and legislative sources, to know the source of the law, and specifically rulings with their justifications. Even great scholars, they write, who have the ability and fame for their knowledge of the Talmud, have difficulty arbitrating between the various legislative authorities when studying to derive a final ruling and agreement. For in most areas, there are divided opinions. Therefore, they continue, from heaven it was decided, and this heavenly message came via the holy Rebbe, Reb Dov Ber of Magid, the Mezritcher Magid, who was the teacher of the Alter Rebbe, student, and who took over the leadership from the Baal Shem Tov. So the Magid of Mezritch had his vision, had his Ruach HaKodesh, this Nevuah, to search assiduously amongst his disciples to find an individual with the Spirit of God within him and the capacity to understand and to ordain clear legislation, to organize all the established laws that are recorded in the Shulchan Aruch and all the later authorities, and to organize this in a concise language with a reasoned justification. The Maggid chose, as they write, his honor, referring to their father, our holy master and father, the Alter Rebbe, Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi, and urged him and persuaded him, saying, there is no one with the understanding and wisdom like you, said the Maggid, who is able to descend to the depth of the halacha and do this work, a work of holiness, to bring to light the concise essence of the reasons for the rulings mentioned, including all the words of the earlier and later authorities, and this should be refined sevenfold, each matter in its correct place, without confusion and muddle, and arriving at the conclusive ruling that becomes clear and emerges from the words of all the legislators until the scholars of today. Now, just interesting, the Alter Rebbe was then just in his 20s. He was the youngest student of the Maggid. Yet it was him who the Maggid chose and entrusted this huge task in coordinating the entire Shulchan Aruch. Now the Rebbe, in the Sicha points out that the Yohrtzeit of the Alter Rebbe today, Chavdala Tevis, is in such close proximity as the Yohrtzeit of the Rambam, the 20th of Tevis. And indeed, there are a lot of similarities between the Rambam and the Alter Rebbe in their approach to the study of Torah and the fact that they revealed both aspects. The Rambam had the Yad HaChazaka Halachas and the Mora HaNevuchim, dealing with soul, and the Alter Rebbe wrote the Tanya and the Shulchan Aruch. Please God, we would love to see them both today in the Beis HaMikdash, the Rambam and the Alter